Use the left stick to aim, then press the Y button to shoot down the desired letters. If you shoot down the wrong letters, you'll suffer damage. Alright, let's try that again. Hello, YouTube. I'm Unca Crunk, just your standard issue purple monster of a certain age who plays games on the internet. In the previous episode of Danganronpa, we began our first murder investigation, hoping to uncover the true murderer of Sayaka and clear our own name. All the evidence points to Leon, and since this is the first trial, I don't really expect any twist to subvert that. So, let's get started with our first class trial. Okay, so let's see, what's this class trial that Monokuma mentioned? Can Makoto sweep away the cloud of suspicion surrounding him, even with a dead body laying in his bathroom? Crawls a little slow. And what about the Blackened, who's actually responsible for Sayaka's death? Okay, now let's see. Open E handbook. Truth bullets. Monokuma file number 1. The victim was Sayaka Maizono. The time of death is estimated to be around 1:30 a.m. The body was discovered in Makoto's room in the dormitory. The death took place in the bathroom. The cause of death was a stab wound to the abdomen, and her right wrist appears to have been fractured. Evidence of a struggle. There are a number of scratches and gouges on the bed and walls in Makoto's room. Replica sword. Makoto took this from the gem entryway and put it in his room. The sword was found out of its sheath on the floor in the middle of the room. The sword handle was missing some of its gold coating, as was part of the blade. Replica sword sheath. Makoto took this from the gem entryway and put it in his room. The sheath was found some distance from the sword itself and shows evidence of being scratched with a sharp object. A sharp object, which the sword is not. So the chef's knife was used. This was used as a defense against the chef's knife. If you were going to attack someone with the sword, you would almost certainly remove the sheath first. Okay, switching rooms. On the night of the murder, Makoto and Sayaka traded rooms and room keys. When the victim was discovered, Makoto's room key was also found in Makoto's room. Sayaka had originally asked Makoto to switch with her when someone attempted to force their way into her room, and she became frightened. Toolkit. This had been placed in Makoto's room before he arrived. It remains unopened, and there is no evidence of it having ever been used. All the other male students claim that they haven't used theirs either, but still. Someone used a screwdriver on the doorknob. Makoto's room cleanliness. Not a single hair was found on the floor at the scene of the crime. In addition, the lint roller shows evidence of being used. Sayaka's wrist. Sayaka's right wrist had been fractured and her wrist was glittery at the injury's location. In addition, her hands appeared to be completely clean, except for the index finger of her left hand, which had some blood on it. Dying message. A series of numbers had been written in blood on Makoto's wall, 11037. It is assumed that Sayaka wrote these numbers while leaned up against the wall as she lay dying. Bathroom door frame. Makoto's bathroom door was difficult to open due to it not quite fitting in the doorframe properly. The only two people who knew the trick to opening it were Makoto, the room's owner, and Sayaka, the victim. Oh, Makoto's doorknob had been broken. The screws holding it in place had all been partially or completely removed. Oh, okay, here we go. Dorm nameplates. The nameplates on the doors to Sayaka and Makoto's rooms were apparently switched at some point. Kitchen knife set. The kitchen in the dining hall has a set of kitchen knives. Apparently, one of the knives had gone missing. Aoi's account. The knife from the kitchen went missing while Aoi was in the dining hall. Aoi swears that Makoto did not come to the dining hall at any point while she was there. Trash duty. There's apparently a trash room within the school. It's blocked off by a sturdy gate that can only be opened with a trash room key. The incinerator. The incinerator can be activated via a switch on the machine. Hifumi was on cleaning duty, and he claims that the last time he saw the incinerator, it was off. However, when Makoto checked it after the incident, the incinerator was, in fact, on. The distance from the gate to the incinerator is roughly 30 feet. Burnt shirt piece. A piece of burnt clothing was found next to the incinerator in the trash room. It is apparently part of a shirt cuff, and it has a noticeable bloodstain on it. Shattered crystal ball. Shards of glass were found next to the incinerator in the trash room. As it turns out, the glass ball would have fit comfortably in the palm of a person's hand. Apparently, Yasuhiro left the ball in the laundry room on accident, so anyone could have come along and taken it. Okay, so those are our truth bullets. All right. Set skills. What is this? Oh. Melodious voice. Increases damage to the opponent when a statement is destroyed. Effective during the bullet time battle. Cost 3 SP. Well, may as well equip that. I'm not sure I understand what they mean, but sure, why not? Let's finish preparations. All rise!
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
And the killer really is one of us, right?
Of course.
Okay then, everyone close your eyes. And whoever did it, raise your hand.
Don't be a goddamn idiot. Why the hell would they raise their hand?
Before we move on and start the trial, can I ask a question real quick? What's going on with those pictures?
I'd feel awful if they got left out just because they died. Friendship penetrates even death's barrier. Friendship penetrates?
Oh my god, this guy.
Okay, but what about that other empty seat? There were only 15 of us to begin with, so why are there 16 seats?
Oh, no reason. It's just that our little courtroom here can technically fit up to 16 people.
Press B to doubt.
Okay, that about does it for the preamble. Get ready to get started. First up is the case summary. Now, let the class trial begin.
It's about to begin. The debate to decide who we think the killer is. Anything I found, anything I noticed, I have to be ready to speak up about everything. Because this isn't just about me. Everyone's lives are on the line. Your first non-stop debate is about to begin. Would you like to hear more? Absolutely. As things progress during each class trial, you will engage in a number of non-stop debates. During these discussions, characters will speak one after another without pause. It's up to you to unearth any lies or contradictions buried within their statements. What this means is that you'll have to use your truth bullets to refute what they say. Any relevant truth bullets you found during your investigation will be loaded into the truth cylinder. Use the left stick to aim, then fire with the Y button. Pay close attention to each character's statements and use your truth bullets to blast the right ones. Note that if you run out of time, you will automatically fail, so please be careful. If you press the start button during these arguments, you can review the controls. Well then, good luck and have fun! Alrighty, make my argument. Evidence of a struggle.
I assert that the one who was murdered was Miss Sayaka Maizono.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know that part already.
And the murder took place in Makoto's room.
In the bathroom. So it seems most likely that the killer must have taken her by surprise while she was in the bathroom. She didn't even have a chance to resist.
Okay. No, that's wrong.
Just a second, Chihiro. Try to remember how my room looked. With the way things had been damaged, I think we can definitely assume there was a struggle.
A lot of voice acting in this.
A struggle? Between who and who?
Who and whom?
Between Sayaka and the killer, of course.
So you're saying Sayaka wasn't caught by surprise in the bathroom? She must have been attacked in the main room first. Then, she ran to the bathroom to try and hide. The killer followed her in, and that's where they finished the job.
That much should have been obvious after taking one look at the scene. It shouldn't even need explaining.
Sorry.
Oh.
Okay, so what's next?
Next is the subject of the murder weapon.
Wow, this is starting to sound like a real trial.
We need to determine what was used to kill Sayaka. Really? Kitchen knife set.
So what was used to kill her?
There was some kind of sharp object thrust into her stomach.
It was a
Without
knife!
a doubt, that is the murder weapon.
So the killer used some random knife they had on him.
No, that's wrong! No. I do think it was a knife, but not just any knife. I'm almost positive it was a kitchen knife.
Huh? A kitchen knife?
After the murder, we discovered that one of the knives from the kitchen was missing.
Which means that knife must be the murder weapon.
Oh, yeah. I guess that makes sense. You could sort of see the weapon sticking out of her stomach.
Sort of.
And if you look real close, I could totally see that being a kitchen knife.
Okay, so the murder weapon was a kitchen knife, but where does that get us? I mean, we all know Makoto killed her, right?
Well, of course you'd say that.
Makoto's room was the scene of the crime. What more proof do you need?
Hold on a second.
Let's draw our conclusions after we've presented our arguments. Otherwise, what's the point of the trial?
Voice of reason!
Well, we can talk all we want. It's not going to change that conclusion.
I don't think that's true at all. I'm sure if we keep at it, something new will reveal itself.
You really believe that?
She's right. There's gotta be a breakthrough somewhere just waiting for us to find it. Because I know damn well I'm not the killer. There's a bit more to learn about non-stop debates. Would you like to hear more? Abso-fraggin-lutely. You can concentrate by holding down the RB button. While you're concentrating, time will slow down so you can pay closer attention to what everyone's saying. On top of that, it'll steady your aim, making it easier to target potential weak spots. Concentrating like this consumes the focus gauge, and if this gauge empties, you can't concentrate. But the focus gauge will recover over time, so let your brain take a rest. No need to rush. Well then, good luck and have fun! Okay, RB button. How is it count?
So I guess there's no question that the kitchen knife was the murder weapon. But where does that get us?
Makoto must have taken it from the kitchen, right? He did it in secret when nobody was in the dining hall.
No, that's wrong. Okay, wait. Hold on. I didn't take the knife from the kitchen.
Next, you're gonna say you're not the killer, right? Go ahead and say it all you want.
If I didn't know better, I'd be suspecting Toko just because of how hard she's pushing this, Makoto being guilty thing.
Well, what if I have a witness? What do you think, Hina?
Huh?
Remember what you were telling me earlier?
Well, I went to go get some tea from the kitchen last night, and all the knives were still there. But when I finished my tea and went back into the kitchen to wash my glass, one of the knives was gone. So you're saying the knife disappeared while you were drinking your tea in the dining hall? Yeah. Alrighty
Just to be perfectly clear, the knife disappeared while you were in the dining hall, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
And at any point while you were there, did you ever see me come into the dining hall?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, he definitely wasn't there.
The knife disappeared while Hina was in the dining hall, but I wasn't there the entire time. In other words, there's no way I could have taken the knife.
Okay, then what about this? What if the idiot swimmer girl and Makoto are in on it together and lying to protect each other?
Damn, dude.
Idiot swimmer girl?
Exactly.
Oh, and more importantly, why would I get involved in something like that?
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
Good point.
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So being an accomplice is a death sentence.
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
But what if they did work together, and they just didn't know about the rule?
Good grief! Enough already! No, okay? There are no accomplices in this case!
All right.
Oops! Did I say that out loud?
Anyway, I didn't go to the dining hall, and I didn't take the knife. So I'm not the killer.
Okay, so then, who did take the knife?
Well, my guess would be Leon. But when?
Hina seems the obvious candidate. After all, she just said she was in the dining hall. No way! I swear it wasn't me!
I never for a second. Well, of course I didn't.
Sure, but can you or anyone else prove that?
Yeah, that's not
I can.
Oh, hello.
That's right. Sakura was with me the entire time I was drinking my tea.
Why did you not mention this earlier?
I hate to have to ask, but just to be sure, Sakura's...
Me.
Dude.
Right.
But then, couldn't either one of them have grabbed the knife?
Actually, no. Because, well...
Huh?
Just spit it out already.
I stayed in Hina's room last night.
Oh, okay.
I got so scared thanks to those creepy videos. I wasn't really thinking, I just asked her to stay over.
Oh, that's sweet.
Which means we have airtight alibis.
You stayed over? Doesn't that violate one of the school regulations?
Not
We're
at
not
all.
allowed to sleep anywhere but the dorms, but it doesn't say we have to stay in our assigned room. So, I don't think that's a problem.
It is a problem! A boy and a girl spending the night together? It's unwholesome!
Dude!
But I'm a girl.
You are? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry!
But if it wasn't either of you, then what other possibility is there?
Actually, there is one other possibility. Right, Hina?
Nah.
Oh, yeah, that's true. One other person did come to the dining hall while we were there.
Who?
Why didn't you say so in the first place?
Exactly.
Well, because they're not here anymore.
What? Sayaka? Or Junko?
Sayaka.
No, Sayaka.
She's the one who came to the dining hall. And then later, she wound up dead.
I keep forgetting that Junko's dead. Sayaka? So Sayaka took the knife. Huh. This must have been before we switched rooms. I mean, it'd have to be, right? Because the nightly announcement came on pretty shortly thereafter. So I don't think Hina and Sakura would have been there that late. Where the hell was she hiding that knife then? Okay, so the person who took the knife from the kitchen was Sayaka.
I got it! Then, Sayaka is the one who took the knife?
That's the only possibility.
Yep.
And thinking back on it, she was acting kind of unusual. When she came into the dining hall, she didn't even look at us. She just went straight to the kitchen. As she left, she said she just wanted a drink of water. But most likely...
And the person who took the knife was the victim herself!
Huh.
I'm sure she just took it for self-defense.
Well, yeah.
So you're saying the knife she took was then taken from her, and she was killed with it? In that case, you may not have taken the knife, but you still could have killed her.
Oh, damn it.
What?
That's a very reasonable assertion.
See? He did do it after all.
Why are you blushing like that?
No, you're wrong.
So, that's how you would twist the argument and send us all off in the wrong direction? You possess a most terrifying talent.
Damn. If I don't do something, they're going to blame me for the murder. Don't they understand? If they convict me, everyone's going to die.
Hold on. It's still too early to decide conclusively that Makoto is the killer, wouldn't you say?
She knows exactly what happened.
Because you see, if the room did belong to the killer, then they did something most bewildering. And until we unravel that little mystery, you simply can't declare that he's the killer.
Wait, what?
Bewildering? What the hell are you talking about?
If the room did belong to the killer, then... Do you mean cleaning the
Something
room?
was missing from the scene of the crime that by all rights should have been there.
The hair.
You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Your first Hangman's Gambit is about to begin. Would you like to hear more? My what now? As things advance further in the class trial, the Hangman's Gambit will eventually take place. The point of this is to reveal an important phrase related to the incident in question. You'll have to deduce the phrase from the letters flying around and the letters already known. Complete the phrase by shooting down the flying letters in the right order. Use the left stick to aim, then press the Y button to shoot down the desired letters. If you shoot down the wrong letters, you'll suffer damage. Alright, let's try that again. If you shoot down the wrong letters, you'll suffer damage to your influence gauge. If this gauge reaches 0, or if you run out of time, you'll fail. Well then, good luck and have fun! Something that should have been at the scene but wasn't. That must be the crucial point. If we can just figure out what that something is. Here we go. Hangman's Gambit! Hair, okay. I R A H. Okay, I have to get it to red. R. Okay.
Now I understand.
Complete.
That's right. There wasn't a single hair on the floor.
So, the culprit removed some evidence?
Yes. And if I were the culprit, why would I need to get rid of all the hair in my own room? It wouldn't be unusual at all to find my hair at the crime scene if the crime scene is in my room.
The reason all the hair was gone was to remove any trace that Sayaka had ever been there.
She was found in the bathroom.
That makes sense, does it not?
No.
No. If that were the case, they would have had to do something about the body itself, not just her hair.
Ha ha ha! Yes, very true, very true.
Dude. Just don't even bother.
Okay, then why wasn't there any hair on the ground?
The killer got rid of it all, of course, to remove any trace that they had ever been there.
Wait, then that means...
Precisely. It's simply beyond reason to believe that the room's owner and the killer are one and the same.
Are we done with this now?
Makoto isn't the culprit?
Are you sure we can decide something so important based solely on the absence of some hair?
No. There are other reasons that prove why Makoto couldn't have done it.
I would like to hear these reasons.
Do you remember anything remarkable about the bathroom at the scene? Sayaka was attacked in the main room first, then fled into the bathroom, right?
Yeah, then they ran after her, got into the bathroom, and stabbed her.
And how did the killer get into the bathroom? Did they have any trouble with it?
What do you mean?
It's fairly certain that the killer had some trouble getting into the bathroom. There was clear evidence left behind. Do you remember, Makoto?
The killer struggled getting into the bathroom, and the evidence that proves it is... Oh, okay. This part is like, Phoenix Wright. The doorknob!
I got it! Evidence that the killer had trouble getting into the bathroom. You're talking about the doorknob, right?
Huh? The doorknob? What doorknob?
Doorknob on the door, dude.
The doorknob for my bathroom. It was completely broken. See how the top part was unscrewed? And the doorknob's about ready to fall off?
Oh yeah, true. But what does it mean?
In trying to bypass the lock, they ended up nearly removing the entire doorknob. This is another most bewildering act for the room's owner. It proves Makoto is beyond suspicion.
So what? You're saying he wouldn't break the door in his own room? But if the only choice you have is to break it, you break it. There's nothing bewildering about it.
You still don't see? Okay then. Let's take another look at how the incident unfolded. Hopefully that will help you understand.
Yoko said it was a bewildering act. I almost didn't notice it at first, but is that the key point here? There's a bit more to learn about non-stop debates. Would you like to hear more? Yes, please. From here on out, the number of weak spots will start going up. But no matter how many weak spots, there's essentially only one lie or contradiction in that debate. What I'm trying to say is, not all weak spots you see are necessarily false. Use a truth bullet on the wrong one, and not only will you fail to refute what they said, but you'll also lower your trust with everyone, and your influence gauge will take damage. Now, this is important because if your influence gauge reaches 0, you fail. You'll have to rely on your own logic to determine which weak spots are actually lies or contradictions. Tonight on Lies and Contradictions, Makoto's doorknob. Well then, good luck and have fun. All right. Now. Bathroom door frame.
The incident took place in Makoto's room. Sayaka was first attacked in the main room. She then fled into the bathroom.
Then the killer ran after her. And they got into the bathroom.
At that point, the killer had to try and bust down the door. Because Sayaka had locked it.
Ah, damn it, I missed. Also, that was the wrong one. Shit.
The culprit had Sayaka cornered.
And to finish the job, they stabbed her with the kitchen knife.
It was you, wasn't it, Makoto? Admit it. We already know the answer.
It's obvious that my bathroom door wouldn't open. But the real reason for that is...
The incident took place in Makoto's room.
All right.
Sayaka was first attacked in the main room. She then fled into the bathroom.
Then the killer
okay.
went, and they got into the bathroom.
Speed, just speed up.
The killer had it because Sayaka had locked it.
No, that's wrong. The reason my bathroom didn't open wasn't because it was locked. After all, the girls' rooms are the only ones with walking bathrooms, right?
Yes, now that you mention it, that is true.
Then why didn't your bathroom door open?
Because it was stuck.
Huh? What are you talking about?
My bathroom door doesn't fit in the frame quite right. Monokuma over there can testify to that.
Yup, true as true can be. But you know, you're supposed to be the ultimate lucky student, right? But to have such a cruddy door... That's not lucky at all.
Well, it's helping to clear my name, so maybe it is.
So the reason the door didn't open was just because it was stuck. But the killer didn't know that and assumed it was locked. So they tore apart the doorknob to get in.
Okay, but then why would the killer even think the door was locked in the first place? Everyone should have known you can't lock any of the boys' bathrooms.
The killer could easily make that mistake, thanks to one important detail about the scene of the crime.
Someone swapped the nameplates. But who swapped the name and why? One important detail? Something the killer didn't know. For some reason, they were convinced the door was locked. Which means the important detail the killer didn't know was that the crime took place in my room.
I got it! The killer must not have realized that it was my room.
What? Are you saying the culprit didn't even know where he was? That's inconceivable.
So Sayaka must have been the person who swapped the nameplates. But why would she do that?
And yet, he's absolutely right.
Say what?
Well, to be more specific, what the killer didn't know was that Makoto and Sayaka had switched rooms, which is what led to the misunderstanding about the bathroom. If Sayaka had been in her own room, then
there would have been a lock on the door, and they would have had to break through.
So they had no idea how unnecessary their actions were.
ultimately, we can't know if it came open by force or simply by accident. The killer must have been considerably confused, with no idea how they actually got the door opened.
Regardless, it was a pointless act. Wasting time trying to break down a door that wasn't locked is...
definitely something I wouldn't do, since I would have known exactly why it wasn't opening, right?
That is a definite possibility.
He seems so disappointed that it wasn't me.
So the killer would have to be someone who didn't know they'd switched rooms?
Then Makoto couldn't have done it.
That's what I've been trying to tell you!
Okay, then who did do it?
I'm sorry, but I give up! Quit without saving!
Dude.
But what happens if we can't decide on who we think did it?
Well, Why don't we just vote right now? Majority rules!
Bad idea.
Majority rules? You really think that's a good idea?
Yeah, our necks are on the line here. Someone seriously needs to do something. For serious.
Does no one have any other thoughts or questions? It does not matter how trivial they may seem.
Oh, as a matter of fact, I do have one question.
What's that?
Oh, you.
Dude, come on. Why all the hate on Owie?
You don't gotta sound so disappointed.
It's fine, it's fine. Just ask your question.
Oh yeah. Okay, so, well, I was just wondering, how did the culprit get into Makoto's room in the first place?
Excellent question, Owie.
Yes. How did the killer get inside?
Maybe Sayaka just dropped the key somewhere and the culprit picked it up. That's possible, right?
I don't think so. That seems way too convenient.
Then, maybe someone picked the lock?
Not possible.
Negative! If you remember, Monokuma made it quite clear that the locks are all unpickable.
Fine. How about this? The killer got in the easy way. They could have knocked and said they wanted to talk or something, and Miss Maizono just let him in.
Okay, that's not an unreasonable guess, but she very definitely said that she would not let anyone in, not even Makoto.
No, that can't be it either.
Oh, trying to argue against me? Sounds like someone doesn't know his place.
Yeah, and that someone is you.
Hello? Why exactly can't that be it?
The reason there's no way Sayaka invited her killer into the room. I already have the answer. What? Is it under this? Yeah, I guess it's this.
I got it! Because Sayaka was already scared, remember? That's why she asked me to switch rooms in the first place.
Same goes for you, Sayaka. No matter who it is, don't open your door for anyone. Even if I'm sure it's you, I absolutely won't open it. Otherwise, what's the point of even switching?
Knowing what she'd been through, I just can't believe she would have opened the door for anyone.
What if her being scared was a lie?
Ew.
Huh? Well, what the hell is that supposed to mean? Why would she lie about something like that?
Yeah, now we're getting into it.
I know you don't want to consider it, but look at this and tell me. Can you still deny the possibility?
What the hell is that? There's something I want to talk to you about. Just us two. In 5 minutes, come see me in my room. Check the nameplates to make sure you don't get the wrong room, okay? Sayaka. Son of a bitch!
I found a notepad during my search, and I shaded in the top sheet with a pencil.
Sayaka was going to try to kill Leon. Well, probably Leon.
And these are the words that appear.
Oh man! I've totally seen people do that on detective shows. When you write, it can leave an imprint. Sketch over the next sheet of paper, and you can see the words. When I saw that, I was like, holy crap! I better make sure I rip the paper out before I use it from now on.
It's a pretty old-fashioned technique, but even the classics can be surprisingly useful sometimes. Oh, and I should also mention, I found the notepad on the desk in Makoto's room.
Huh?
Which means only someone who had been in Makoto's room before the incident could have written it.
then either it was Makoto who lived there, or Sayaka who switched rooms for a single night.
So, Makoto, did you write this?
It never even occurred to me that someone else might have written that note. I just leapt to conclusions that it was Sayaka. No, I did not write this.
I didn't. But
Of course you didn't, because the note also bears a perfectly legible signature. Sayaka's signature.
Then that note, Sayaka wrote it?
But why? Why would she write that?
The note was likely her way of getting in touch with a certain someone. She must have slid it under their door to let them know she wanted to meet with them in secret.
If you got an invitation like that from the ultimate pop sensation, what young man could resist?
Dude, she's, you, by the way, you talk about not being into 3D.
Of course, I'm only into 2D, so it wouldn't have any effect on me.
Yeah. As I said.
But can we be sure anyone even got this note? And honestly, even if they did, I do not think they are at all involved in what happened.
Why not?
Huh? What makes you say that? Would you like to hear what I have to say?
Sure, go for it.
Very well then. Pay attention.
Oh, we're doing this. Dorm nameplates.
Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, correct? But in the note, the place they were asked to come to, it specifically says, my room. I see. So if someone read that note, then they would have gone to Sayaka's room. Exactly. The room that Makoto was staying in.
No, that's wrong. The nameplates on Mai and Sayaka's rooms got switched.
They got switched?
That's right. The nameplates got switched, just like the rooms themselves. As a result, the nameplate on Sayaka's room actually had Makoto's name. And the nameplate on Makoto's room had Sayaka's.
So what you're saying is, the room Sayaka was staying in was actually marked as her room.
Then, if someone did do what the note said, they would end up at Makoto's room where Sayaka was.
Plus, their rooms are right next to each other, so switching the nameplates would be no problem. And the one who switched the names was... Well, of course it wasn't you, right, Makoto?
Right?
Okay, then who did it?
Had to have been Sayaka. There's only one person who could have switched the nameplates.
I got it! Me and Sayaka were the only ones who ever knew about us switching rooms. So the only other person besides me who would even know to switch the nameplates was Sayaka.
Not only was she trying to kill someone, presumably Leon, but she was trying to set me up for it.
You can also infer as much from her note.
There's something I want to talk to you about. Just us two. In 5 minutes, come see me in my room. Check the nameplates to make sure you don't get the wrong room, okay?
She specifically tells the reader to check the nameplate. She would only have written that if she knew the nameplates had been switched.
But why would she switch them in the first place?
She wanted someone to come to the room she was in, and also hide the fact that it was Makoto's room.
What?
She played me like a fiddle!
Inviting someone to your room, but not telling them you'd switched rooms. Why would anyone do that?
To understand that, we first need to understand what happened after she invited the person into the room. That's where the answer lies.
What happened then was probably whoever she invited over came in and attacked her.
She had the knife.
We figured it out! We know who did it! Whoever she invited over is the culprit!
But we still don't know who it is, you goddamn idiot!
Sayaka fought with her killer there in the room, yes? Perhaps the answer to our previous question lies in that initial struggle.
Yes, I think you're right.
Then... we just have to figure out what happened during the fight, right?
That reminds me. There was a replica sword at the murder scene. Was that perhaps used during the fight?
Absolutely. What's the deal with that sword?
Sayaka suggested I should hold on to it. I thought it might come in handy if I had to defend myself. It seems pretty likely that the killer used it to break Sayaka's right wrist.
How the hell could you possibly know that's what broke her wrist?
The glitter. The reason I know Sayaka's wrist was broken with the fake sword is because... Wait, did I hit the wrong button? I'm sorry, this just doesn't make any sense. How is there any connection between the sword and her wrist?
Shoot!
What? Oh, the glitter on the wrist. Looks like I just embarrassed myself in front of everyone. All right, there.
I got it! All you have to do is take a good look at her broken wrist, and it should become pretty clear. Right there where her wrist is all swollen. There's something glittery there. See?
Is that gold?
It's probably not real gold, no.
It sure is. Specifically, the gold coating from the replica sword. You barely have to touch that stuff, and it'll stick right to you. And there's some on her wrist because...
I got it! Because she got hit with the sword! Right there on her wrist!
I see. And so the truth draws ever closer.
All right, then it's about time to solve this mystery.
What happened in my room? And what led to Sayaka's death? That's what we need to make clear. Here's a bit more to learn about non-stop debates. Would you like to learn more? Yes. Are you getting used to these non-stop debates? Starting with the next debate, I'll start loading multiple truth bullets into your truth cylinder. But just like with the weak spots, only one of those bullets can actually refute the proper statement. In other words, from here on out, you'll have to combine the right truth bullets with the right weak spots to refute each statement. If you come up with the wrong combination, you'll take damage to your influence gauge. You can press the LB button to rotate the cylinder and choose which bullet to fire. Press and release the LB button to cycle through each bullet. Or you can hold down the LB button and then use the left in stick to select a specific bullet. By the way, if the logic difficulty is set to kind, fewer bullets will be loaded into the cylinder. For our purposes this time, the logic difficulty will be set to mean. Well then, good luck and have fun! I set it to mean anyway, at the beginning of the game. Okay, replica sword sheath, kitchen knife set, and replica sword.
When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. The sword-based sneak attack!
And that's what broke Miss Maizono's wrist.
Hey, yeah.
Oh, she tried to fight back. She grabbed the kitchen knife she had hidden away.
But then the culprit took that from her too.
And they killed her with it.
And that's exactly what happened.
Oh, actually, that sounds very reasonable. The sword was used first, then the knife came afterward. Oh, okay, I get it. Is that really the order of events? That leads to some unexplainable details. Okay, so his little ponderings at the end is a hint.
And that's when the first blow was dealt. Sword-based sneak attack.
No, that's wrong. Actually, no. I don't think the fight started with the sword.
Why not?
Because the sword's sheath had been scratched. See? There's a gash in it. Like someone cut into it with something sharp.
Something sharp? You mean like the kitchen knife? That was the only sharp thing found at the scene.
Stop jumping ahead! Slow down and explain it so I get what the hell's going on.
If the sword was used first, there wouldn't be any explanation for the scratch on the sheath. If you were going to attack with the sword, you'd take it out of the sheath first, right?
That's true. With the sheath on, it'd be heavy and bulky and useless as shit.
Okay, so how did the sheath get damaged?
If they got attacked with the kitchen knife, maybe they grabbed the sword as a defensive impulse. In that situation, there wouldn't be any time to actually unsheath the sword.
So you're saying the sword was initially used to defend against an attack from the knife?
Yep, and Sayaka had no glitter on the palms of her hands, so she never touched the thing.
Which means whoever had the kitchen knife was the one who attacked first.
I think I get it! So here's how it all played out. The culprit came in, found the kitchen knife hidden there somewhere. Then they took the knife and attacked Sayaka before she knew what was happening. So she grabbed the sword to defend herself, but then the culprit took that from her too. Then, after they broke her wrist with the sword, they took the knife and finished it.
Sorry, but I don't think Sayaka used the sword to defend herself.
What? How the hell can you not think that?
Because she never held the sword at all. There's a certain part of her body that makes this clear.
Her palms! Oh, the part of her body that shows she never used the sword or her palms.
I got it! You're talking about her palms, right? The palms of her hands were perfectly clean, so I don't think she ever picked up the sword.
How can you know that just by looking at her palms?
Like I said before, the gold coating on that sword comes right off. All you have to do is touch it. In fact, if you look, you'll notice that a lot of the gold has already come off the handle. It's safe to assume that's because whoever used the sword got some of it on their hands. There's really no way she could have picked it up and come away completely clean.
Maybe she washed her hands after she escaped into the bathroom.
Whatever was turned off.
Sorry, but I don't think so.
Why do you say that? Is it because you think I'm ugly?
Okay, I'm beginning to feel a little sorry for her. If her self-esteem is so low that never mind. Let's
No, that's not it at all.
There's no way Sayaka washed the gold coating off her hands because the water was turned off.
I got it! According to the Monokuma file, Sayaka's time of death was around 1:30 a.m. In other words, at nighttime. And the water in the bathroom shuts off at nighttime, right?
Oh, I didn't know that. Actually, I haven't taken a shower here yet.
Excuse me?
Oh my.
You're no different. You smell like a big fat ugly donkey.
I'm not sure whether to take that as an insult or a compliment.
Really?
An insult, obviously.
Thank you.
So anyway, if Sayaka never touched the sword, then that means the killer is the only one who used the sword. But hold on. If that's right, then the one who damaged the sheath with the kitchen knife was...
Sayaka. The one who damaged the sheath would have to have been the one without the sword. Sayaka.
I got it! Sayaka? She had the kitchen knife?
But we already said that the attack started with...
The person with the knife attacked first, and the sword was used as an impromptu defense.
He gets it.
Then the one who attacked first was...
Sayaka?
Now do you understand? She wasn't a blameless victim in this.
No, far from it. It's almost as if she'd been planning to commit a murder of her own.
What?
She took the knife from the kitchen, then invited the culprit to the room she was staying in. And if it's true that she had the kitchen knife and attacked without provocation...
Indeed. These are all the actions of an assailant.
Which brings up another point. Makoto, Sayaka was the one who suggested you two switch rooms, correct?
Yep.
Maybe the reason she wanted to switch rooms was so that she could pin the crime on you. That is a possibility, is it not?
Sayaka wanted to... on me?
Yep. Played us like a fiddle.
That would also explain why she would switch the nameplates. She wanted to get whoever she had targeted to come to Makoto's room where she was staying. And by committing the murder there, instead of her room, that would implicate Makoto. But for that to work, the target had to be lured out while still keeping the room swap a secret. If the target knew she had switched rooms, they would have become suspicious right away.
So all that's why she switched the names?
But doesn't that plan seem a little risky? For one thing, even if her plan worked, Mr. Naegi would just tell everyone they'd switched rooms.
I don't know. I'm not sure our soft-hearted Makoto is capable of that kind of cutthroat behavior. I'm sure Sayaka realized the same thing, which is why out of all of us, she asked him to switch rooms.
Hey.
Plus, she was the ultimate pop sensation. A totally forgettable kid. Or a national superstar. Who are you more likely to believe?
Good point.
Wait, then you're saying she had this all planned out?
Holy shit!
But in the end, her plan backfired. She launched her attack with the knife, then found herself under attack in turn. That must be when her wrist got broken, and she was forced to drop the knife.
The tables were suddenly turned on her, and she died at the hands of the one she'd planned to murder.
Just hold on! That can't be true!
Dude. Give it up.
Because
she was your friend?
Hey! You guys have totally derailed the argument. You're being super boring right now. Come on, hurry up and decide who did it. Wouldn't it be awful if I had to punish you all just because you ran out of time?
Oh yeah, we gotta decide who we think did it.
Makoto, right now you just need to concentrate on figuring out the answer to this mystery. If we can't uncover who murdered Sayaka, it's over for all of us.
Is it really all over? We'll find out next time on Danganronpa. So, Sayaka played us for a fool and set us up to take the fall for a murder she had intended to commit. Operative word there, intended, because unfortunately for her, she was unable to finish the job. But if she was setting this up, why did she leave Leon's name as her dying message? You know, aside from it being easier to write than Makoto. Nah, that's silly. Even if she intended to take Makoto down for her crime, why help Leon get away with her murder? You want ghosts? Because that's how you get ghosts. Anywho, we'll get around to actually proving Leon did it in the next episode. In the meantime, up here is a playlist for my completed Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney playthrough, and down here is a video that YouTube recommends. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!